Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber, and I'll be going over episode 6 of Grendizer U, where we learn a bit more about the two princesses, Rubina and Tirona, who are both sisters. So yeah, we'll get started. So, in the very beginning, we kind of get like a bit of an introduction to the princesses because we have this snowflake ship, which is Tirona's own spaceship. And then we have a conversation between the two sisters, where essentially we see that Tirona, the red-haired one, is sort of speaking with his sister Rubina, and she's sort of recounting what happened. Essentially, Commander Gonda was forced to battle, and then Casado was captured by the enemy. It's a very dangerous plan. So in a way, she's just telling Rubina to stay safe. And do not put herself in danger. It's like, oh, I can't risk your life like this. Be some bad news. And then they match, and then he also, she also tells her that Nida was killed by Duke, which isn't true, of course, but as they know, this is just a lie or misinformation. Essentially, they don't understand the whole story, and the Vega Allied forces are just twisting the truth. But now Rubina's like, why would Duke Fleet kill her? Because he didn't kill her, but she thinks so. She's like, why did this happen? And like, I need to know the reason behind this, which makes sense. And it's my responsibility to do it so, as the Tactile Forces Commander, which makes sense with her position. And because she knows, Tirona knows that Rubina is quite determined with this. She says that only thing I'm going to say to you is that let's try our best to win, and you need to stay safe, sort of thing. Try our best to win the war on planet Earth. And then get the opening, which we'll skip for now. So next we get essentially Maria is forcing I forgot his name again. Forcing the black-haired guy to essentially do some physical training. So you can do better than this. We need to take advantage that we survived as I guess a training interlude. And then Sayaka and Duke are talking, like, oh, she's very good at this. And then Duke is like, nope, she's kind of making him train really hard. And she's like, get up or my vision will turn to reality, because just based on before, we know that Maria can have visions of the future, which gives her some extent of foresight. But, and then he's like, I think your vision will come true no matter what we do, so it's going to happen anyway. And then she's like, did you know that we can't always foresee the future accurately? That means that there's possible other scenarios that the future could go into. She can only see one version. She's like, if you want to survive, you must work your hardest, right? Or give it your all. Putting the future side, your choice is yours. So, in a way, these two are trying to give him some choice, and she's like, no, you had to work really hard. And she's like, are you saying that my abilities are fake? They're not fake. And you see that he gets up and is still working hard. And now we are going to learning a little bit more about Grendizer, which seems to be a huge energy source, which is where they mention 170 trillion joules. So it's part of the Grendizer energy. And then even on their planet, they couldn't figure out the internal composition. It's probably some sort of so advanced that they can't figure it out. And like he's like a sophisticated black box. That's enough information. And then they go sort of into to the details of Grendizer and its energy, solid gravitational waves. Then maybe they could find a way to learn more about it. And then Duke explains that that's why the Vega Alliance forces won't give up, because Grendizer is just too valuable. Not only is it a humongous weapon, but it's also a huge energy source. So it could be used either way. Why Vega are so taken with the idea of taking control of the Grendizer, which makes sense. And then you see here is that Duke is kind of just spending some time with the guitar, kind of just getting some relaxing time. And now he's just talking with his sister about how like he feels that this planet could be his second home. He feels comfortable here. They took him in when he had nowhere else to go. And then she essentially tells him what she's worried about, that they're essentially going to launch an attack against the planet because she has the foresight ability, right? It's like, they will? It's like, no, but at least you're with me. And then he has Maria too, so they could both support each other. And now we have Tona coming in. You get a bit more information about her position. You could see that she actually, she's known as the Iron Lady. She probably is known for having iron will, which makes sense. And then she also has a higher position than these two. That's why the other guys complain, like, the dirty work is left for us while all the glory goes to the others. And watch him out, she's royalty. And then Gandalf greets her. It's like, it was nice to see you, Princess Tirona. And then she is essentially mentioning how we'll launch our attack as soon as our reinforcements are ready. So they're going to prevent it. She wants minimal downtime here. And that's why, I'm going to come personally to battle. Let's see. I think there's, this way Grendizer will be alone without any help. So yeah, they're preventing it from getting any reinforcements. And then Rubina comes in. They're like, oh, I guess she doesn't really show herself much. It's like, oh, Princess Rubina's here. Like, thank you for working hard on the front lines. And then they're greeting the two of them, which I don't think they expected. But also they're showing that for the power structure, definitely Rubina and Tirona are both above these two in, I guess, authority. That's why they say here, you take our orders from us and you shall carry out our commands. So it's kind of nice seeing the two suddenly be assertive. They're rallying the troops here. We shall celebrate our imminent victory together. Then you see here is where Maria's foresight ability activates. And she's like, they're coming. And then it's one of the flying saucers. And then you see the snowflake ship flying out. He's getting closer. You see that he's determined because he knows that's Tirona's battleship. And then they're asking, who is she? And then Maria explains that Tirona is Duke's fiance's sister, which makes sense. And then you can see that they're in Norway. And then she's preparing for battle. They remove her mantle or cape. And then she uses the same stalker ability as they're both stalker knights. And then she equips the mask. And then we get her full name, Tirona Aquavega. So I'm assuming Rubina also has the same last name. And they also use Aquadizer. So that's like her version of Grendizer, I guess. Because it's pretty cool that she lands in the water, and then she also warns the Earthlings. This place will turn into a battle zone. And then you have 10 minutes to evacuate, and so they go. And then they mention here's like, oh, why can't we just attack right away? And they's like, oh, we're gonna learn about by killing people. But no, they're like, no, that's not the, what do you call it? That's not chivalry, essentially. So in a way, they're giving them some time, the Earthlings some time to evacuate, makes it a better battleground for them by clearing the area. Which is good. Then Grendizer will come in anyway because he recognizes Tirona's what do you call it, spaceship. And then you can see it lands, and we essentially get this really emotional fight between the two of them. I don't know if I can get all the lines because it's actually quite long. But essentially it's mostly Tirona sort of like what do you call it? Putting her frustrations on Duke because of the general misunderstanding that's going on here. Because what she doesn't know is that Duke didn't kill his parents, Casado did pretty much, but she doesn't really believe him. But here she feels that it's only right to have them fight one-on-one as Stalker Knights. And then here, right here, we learn a little more how Tirona is Duke's fiance's sister. So that's what Maria was explaining. And it's like, oh, you didn't change at all. They are familiar with their fighting styles. Like, oh, and then she's like, oh, you're such a traitor. But you can see that she has found ways to go against the abilities. You can see here was that she froze the lake and used it to steady herself to prevent herself from being blown away by the anti-gravity attack. And also you can see that he just wants her to believe him when he explains the truth about him not killing his parents, but he did kill the civilians. Use a space thunder, but she is able to block that as well. And then that this lady explains the attack. Essentially something involving freezing the atmosphere and sort of thing, and to conduct electricity, something similar like that. And then you can see that Tirona's not really hearing him out very much, and she, for the most part, has the upper hand the entire time. And then it's like, oh, you're such scum, you hurt my sister. But in the end, all she wanted, like, you see a flashback with when they were a bit younger. You can see all the people here. These two is probably the king and queen of Fleet, and then you have her sister, and then Maria when she was younger, and then Naida, who died before. You see that he essentially is the same. But then there's an attack from the side which intercepts. We don't get an explanation of who it is, but I'm 99% sure that it's Maria. Because that attack essentially cuts off Tirona's arm, and then you can see both are shocked because neither of them knew about this attack, of course. Which we get the ship. The ship is depicted in the opening, so I'm 99% sure it's Maria doing it. Because she knows who both of them are. She doesn't want them to fight either, but she doesn't want Tirona to kill her brother. So I think that would be the main reason why they do this. And then it's like, you set me up for an ambush, which he didn't know about it either. It's like, and then you can see he's still trying to stop her. And then Rubina comes in. It's like, oh, are you going to kill me again? Very, very strong phrasing here. And he's like, Rubina. And then Rubina is telling her sister to retreat because her arm got cut off. And then you can't continue fighting. And then Tirona retreats. So you see that in general, he comes up pretty much unscathed. We didn't get any civilian casualties this time, which is good. But yeah, this episode overall is mostly about explaining the relationship between Rubina and Tirona, and giving a place for Tirona to kind of vent her frustrations in this case. So not too bad. We do learn a little bit more about princesses. We know that they're considered royalty. They're probably royalty of the Vega Alliance, though that's not completely clear. But due to their higher authority, it would make the most sense in this case. But all we did learn a little bit about them, and hopefully we'll learn more about them next time, as we got some answers, but not all of them. I'm hoping that the Duke gave them a bit of doubt to kind of allow them to know the actual truth rather than just what the Vega Alliance tells them, because they definitely don't know everything. Rubina doesn't know everything. Tirona, like, both of them don't know that Duke did not kill his parents, which is essentially one thing they have against him. And also, they also believe that Naida was killed by Duke too, which isn't true, which we know from a previous episode. So yeah, so a little bit more information, but we will just see what happens in the next couple episodes, because there's still a lot to uncover and a lot to learn. So yeah, that's all for now. So thanks for watching.